I talk a lot about phones in my work. Screen time, device etiquette, being present in meetings, and putting the phone away. I want to talk about something different. Not the phone in your pocket and not the screen you're scrolling. I want to talk about actually making and receiving calls, because that is where I'm seeing one of the most significant and underestimated gaps in the modern workplace right now. And here's where it gets really interesting. Just when employers are realizing new hires need help building phone confidence, AI is making the whole thing more complicated. People in online forums are sharing stories of elderly parents nearly scammed by callers using AI-generated voices that sounded exactly like their grandchildren. And others describe watching TikToks about voice cloning technology used to simulate a family member calling in distress, asking for money. And for a generation already conditioned to distrust unknown numbers, this has added a whole new layer of hesitation around picking up the phone at all. So we have a generation that didn't grow up with the natural training ground that built phone skills. We have new social norms that treat unannounced calls as intrusive. And now we have AI making the phone itself feel less trustworthy. And yet, the phone call remains one of the most powerful tools in a professional's toolkit. The ability to have a real conversation in real time and handle it with confidence, that is becoming more rare, which means it's becoming more valuable. Today, I want to walk you through what is exactly happening, why it's happened, and what we can do about it, because this is solvable. And right now, solving it is a genuine competitive advantage. I'm Trina Boos, CEO of Boost Academy of Excellence. I train professionals on workplace skills that actually get them promoted. Let's dive right in. Let me paint you a picture for what this looks like in practice, because I want you to recognize it if you're seeing it on your team. A retail store owner describes something I hear constantly in my work. She has good employees, smart, they're capable people who are great at their jobs overall. And then she gave them scripts. She walked through the words with them. She even printed out transcribed voicemails with notes on exactly what to say. And still, every single phone call ended the same way. Okay, so yeah, followed by silence. The customer on the other end wondered if the call had dropped. She could not understand it. And she wrote, "None of these employees are unintelligent. They just seem really timid and inexperienced on the phone." And that's exactly it. Timid and inexperienced, not unmotivated, not disrespectful, undertrained in a very specific skill. A 21-year-old working in university administration, Gen Z herself, calls between 50 and 100 students every day. And she noticed that the students would answer the phone and then say absolutely nothing, just complete silence, background noise, breathing. And she'd wait, say hello, and get a yeah back in a very annoyed tone. She now leaves notes on student accounts flagging that they answered but wouldn't speak. And her concern was practical, not personal. She wrote, "What if we were an employer calling?" And 23-year-old working at a bank noticed it from the customer side. Almost every time she spoke with someone her age or younger, they hung up the moment they'd gotten what they needed. No thank you, no goodbye, just gone. And she found it jarring. And she's part of the same generation. Now, these are not isolated incidents. This is a consistent pattern showing up across industries and workplaces everywhere. Now, here's the part I want employers to understand, because it changes how you approach the solution. This is not a values gap, it's a practice gap. And once you understand where the gap came from, it makes complete sense. The household landline did something we didn't fully appreciate at the time. It made phone etiquette a family matter. Everyone in the house was implicated, which meant constant low-stakes opportunity to learn, be corrected, and try again. You called to order pizza, You answered for your parents. You left an awkward message for a friend. You accumulated hundreds of small interactions without even thinking about it. And that was your training ground, and it happened naturally over many years. That infrastructure is gone now, and nobody replaced it. On top of that, this generation has managed most of its social life through asynchronous communication, texts, DMs, voice notes sent on their own timeline. A phone call means being present, unscripted, in real time with no opportunity to draft or delete or rewrite. And for someone who has rarely experienced that, it genuinely registers as stressful, not as a minor inconvenience, but as a real source of anxiety. And then layer AI on top of all of that. A generation already cautious about unknown numbers is now navigating a world where the voice on the other end might not even be human. That's not paranoia. That is a reasonable response to a landscape that has genuinely changed. It just creates real complications in a professional context where picking up the phone and speaking confidently is still expected. Understanding all of this doesn't mean we lower the bar. It means we know exactly what we're dealing with and we can address it directly. Now, I want to address something directly because I know some of you are listening to this and thinking, phones? Really? Isn't that what Slack is for? And honestly, I get it. If you have optimized the phone out of your own day-to-day, it can feel like a relic. But here's what I'd say to that. The phone is invisible to those who don't need it anymore. It is very much alive in the industries that do. Engineering firms navigating multi-million-dollar projects, healthcare, legal, financial services, real estate, recruiting, call centers. Even the most digitally forward companies still need skilled humans on the phone when things get complicated. The phone didn't disappear. It just moved to where the stakes are higher. And here's why that matters right now specifically. The tasks that used to keep junior employees busy, like routine processing, basic analysis, administrative work, are increasingly being automated. And what remains, what cannot be automated, is human connection, conversation, relationship building. And many of these things can be done on the phone. And yet, that's precisely the skill with the biggest gap right now. One recruitment founder put it plainly, if early career professionals cannot add value through communication and interpersonal skills, their role in the professional services value chain becomes increasingly hard to justify. And that is not just a small observation, that's a warning about career trajectories. The most established firms are waking up to this. One major accounting firm recently announced a firm-wide investment in relationship skills training for their junior staff, specifically including lessons on picking up the phone, not as an afterthought, as a strategic priority, because they see what's coming. The technical work gets automated. The humans who remain are the ones who can connect and who can communicate and build trust. So let me share what I know works because I've seen these approaches make a real difference. First, build up to it. Don't just hand them a script. A script helps with the opening, but what it doesn't address is everything that comes after. The moment the customer gets frustrated, the silence at the end of a call, the unexpected question nobody prepared for. Effective training starts with low-stakes practice and works up deliberately. Role play the full conversation, including the difficult moments. Practice the phrases that feel most unnatural. Thank you for your help today. Let me clarify the next steps, until they become automatic. The ending of a call is just as important as the beginning, and it needs just as much attention. Second, name the anxiety and address it directly. What often looks like poor phone etiquette is anxiety in disguise. The simple, practical tools make a significant difference. Jotting down a few bullet points before a call, knowing exactly how you want to open and close, and taking a deep breath before dialing. These are not crutches, they're preparation. And preparation is what builds confidence over time. And if you're managing a team, create a space for new hires to practice without judgment before they're ever on a call with a real client or a difficult customer. And third, create the repetitions that the environment no longer provides naturally. If you're early in your career, call people when you could text. Make that appointment by phone instead of online, and leave a voicemail. Every one of these interactions is a repetition, and repetitions are what build the comfort that no training session can fully replicate. And right now, the bar is extremely low, which means clearing it is more visible than you might expect. The person who handles a call gracefully, who closes with confidence and clarity, stands out immediately, and that is a real differentiator. Phone etiquette has not disappeared. In some places, it's evolved, and in others, it's been lost. Not through anyone's fault, but because the environment that used to teach it naturally simply no longer exists. And with AI adding a new layer of complexity to how we relate to phone calls, the need to be intentional about building these skills has never been greater. And what I know from my work is that this is completely fixable. These are learnable skills. And in workplaces where so much communication hides behind email and text and Slack, the person who can pick up the phone, navigate a conversation with confidence, and close it gracefully, that person gets noticed. And getting noticed is how careers move forward. If this resonated with you, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with a manager or a new hire who needs to hear it. And visit boostacademyofexcellence.com to explore how we can work together. Thank you for listening. Now go make a phone call. I'll see you in the next one.